Call to the booth, pick 6 series. We got the pass rushers up. Couple big names ain't make the list. Y'all tune in, man. See who made the list. Paul, drop that beat.
Harrison Sanford, Aqib Talib, pick 6 series are rated the top 6 pass rushers in the NFL, according to Aqib Talib. And obviously, throughout the entirety of his career, he relied on them to help create pressure on the quarterback so he could make plays in the backfield, defensive backfield, that is. Aqib, how much fun was putting this list together?
It was fun, man. It was interesting, man. That little quick 30-minute study session I did on these pass rushers, it was interesting, to say the least.
All right, but before we get into that, I do want to talk about a recent camp that happened in the NFL, a tight end camp. George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Darren Waller, they all put together this tight end camp. And one of the pass rushers that we will talk about, Von Miller, he had that famous pass rushers camp. Makes me wonder, did you ever, the pass rush summit, there we go, excuse me. Mm-hmm. Did you ever want to put together one of those DB conglomerate sessions or... Go ahead.
It's funny you asked that, right? Because I say maybe 2018 or something like that. One of them years, 2018, 2019, maybe 17. Boom, Sherman hit me. Von did it the first year. Richard Sherman hit me. Hey, we need to put together the DB Summit, man. All right, bet, let's put it together. We kind of had a nice group chat. It was Sherm, Slay, Patrick Peterson. It was everybody, MP. It was everybody in the thread, right? So we all trying to figure out dates, and seemed like it was coming together. So, Sherman was really in charge of hosting the first one, right? So he kind of putting it together. We was going to do it at Stanford. And we in Cali, nice Stanford, beautiful. Man, so we get there. It ain't nobody but Sherm, Akio. That's the other corner. I ain't saying his name right. Akio Witherspoon. You know his name. I can't.
Aqib Witherspoon. Yeah.
Aqib Witherspoon, Darius Slay, me, and maybe Rose. I think Rose came out too. It was like 5 of us, bruh. It was like, bro, DBs is just different, bro. We like, it's gonna be hard for some DBs and receivers to kind of get a summit together. I don't know. I thought it was going to be 2025 of us, how the thread looked. Ain't nobody show up to our shit, man. But we tried. You feel me? We tried.
Wait, so there was, but did people say they was pulling up? Like, was it just like, I'm coming to the party, but I'm not coming?
I can't really remember the details, but I feel like I thought everybody was going to be there. I don't know if I thought that because of the thread or maybe just shit. I was going, you know what I'm saying? Sherm going. You know what I'm saying? Rose going. Maybe I thought, oh, yeah, everybody going. Maybe I seen a couple names, but I don't know. DB is different, though, man. We went in there and we shared our techniques, shared what we be thinking. It was productive with just us 5. I don't know. I'm thinking like, man, maybe guys ain't want to get a sauce to nobody like that.
Not trying to give up trade secrets.
Yeah, they ain't want to give it up. So I don't know, but ours was nowhere near that tight ends or nowhere near Von's beat, man. We tried though.
So okay, when you guys are sitting around, is it like a half hour goes by, an hour goes by? Like, when did you guys kind of realize like it's just you 5?
Shit, we ain't wait. We had trainers. We was like on the clock, so we had trainer come out there. We had Footwork King. Shout out Footwork King, man. My dog in Houston. He came out there, had us the first day, so he was out there ready to go. We started, and we thinking, Xavier Rose. I think he might have showed up a little bit later. Slay, Sherm, and Witherspoon, we was out there. So, we didn't really wait. We kind of just got there, got dressed, and was like, damn, this all we got.
That's wild.
When it got to it.
That's wild. That's wild.
Still ain't got no explanation for it. I don't know what happened, man, but it ain't go right. It went all the way left.
For sure. All right, we did talk about Von Miller having that DB's pass rusher summit, excuse me. Makes me want to talk about Von going into this upcoming season. He's getting paid $22 million, final season of his contract after missing last season. What would you say are realistic expectations for Von coming off that year off?
Man, Von gonna have a big year, man. I think last year he really locked in. That's probably the most locked in I ever seen Von in the offseason, man. He was locked in, body looking great, man. His mental, I'm just talking to him all the time. His mental was right. He was ready to play. Had a little freak accident in training camp or whatever. Then I think he had that same mindset this year, though, man. He locked in. He know that's how we be, man. We get to year 10, you start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, I gotta finish this. I gotta finish this project that I started, man. So I think it's gonna be a good one for him, man. He got a nice little son on the way, man. New baby, new motivation. So I think it's gonna be a good season for him, man. He hungry.
Can you tell us about your experiences, personally, or you see from other guys in the league, playing on that last year of your contract?
Shit, it's like you in college again. it's you gonna have the fire lit up under you, and you playing for a little bit more than just that win now. You know what I'm saying? You playing for that win, but you playing for the name on the back of your jersey too. You trying to better your situation. So guys always seem to find a little bit more in the tank when you're on that contract year, man. I know I definitely did.
Yeah, it's funny how, before, I think previously it used to come with a bad connotation. Oh, guys in a contract here, so he's going to ball. Well, I mean, people are human. Money's on the line. You're damn right I'm going to try and ball. It's totally human for sure. Looking forward to seeing what he's going to do on the field this upcoming season. It's going to bring us to our rankings for the top 6 pass rushers in the league. Aqib, when you were putting this list together, I imagine there was a little bit of difficulty because you got to look at different types of guys with different techniques. You got to look at interior versus like exterior, like outside pass rushers versus interior guys who can pass rush from the interior. How did you kind of decipher between all of these things? Because again, there's 3-4 defenses, there's 4-3 defenses, there's hybrids. How did you come to this top 6?
Well, out of all them defenses, right, pass rushers going to be pass rushers. So, for example, you don't care what defense you put Von in, he going to rush the passer. That's my dog, you know what I'm saying? I don't care what defense you put Aaron Donald in. I don't care where you put him at because Wade moved him around everywhere. I don't care where you put him at. He going to be able to rush the passer, right? So I just did it on production, man. Who the guys last year, 2 years, might look back at 3 years if they've been hurt, who just been productive on the field as far as rushing the passer, getting to the quarterback, taking the ball away, who making plays. That's how I base this list off of.
There we go. And somebody who made plays last year and was a major reason why the Cleveland Browns had a renaissance season in that AFC North is Myles Garrett. He's coming in at number 6, a rising star in the NFL if he's not already there. What did you see from him on the tape last year that encouraged you to put him there at number 6?
But real quick, what made it difficult a little bit to put this list together is a lot of the big names ain't got that production like that on paper, man. So, of course, I start with the big names. I want to put this guy. I put my mental list down, and then I check their paperwork, and I'm like, damn, I got to erase them. So that was different about this list. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I got to find some guys. Let me study and see who been balling. I had to really, find them instead of just going off their name. But Myles Garrett came in at number 6 because sacks is getting there. They in double digits, man. I think they getting there now. I think it was 13, 12 and a half, then 13 and a half or something like that. So I think with the help he got Clowney now and the swag that's in Cleveland, man, I think it's starting to come together for him, right? He's starting to get the time in. He's starting to get his moves down. You've seen some new moves, some Euros and stuff from last year. I think that game speed is coming around for him, and I think he's going to have a hell of a year. Second year in this Joe Woods, Wade Phillips type defense, man, I think he's going to have a hell of a year. And they got some fast blitzing linebackers for him. Help him out a little bit, man. It's going to open up some creases for him, man. So I expect 18 to 20 from Myles Garrett this year.
Yeah, pretty impressive for a guy who's starting on the line for the Cleveland Browns and also could start at power forward for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's got a lot. He's got a lot going on for him.
Talented young man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed. Oh, real quick before we get to number 5, why is Jadeveon Clowney continuously not picked up early? Why is he always last to get picked up? Why is he never really consistently on the roster?
I think it's an injury thing. Maybe it's an injury thing, man. He always got his injuries always in the conversation when you're talking about him. And then I don't know, man. Maybe it's him in the locker room. I don't really know what type of guy he is. I don't know how he vibed in the locker room. I never played with him, but I know if you're a good dude, a good teammate in the locker room and a coachable player, that shit'll take you a long way. You know what I'm saying? It'll keep you around. You know what I'm saying? Even when production down a little bit or whatever, if you get in trouble off the field a little bit, being a good teammate and just a good guy in the building, that shit'll keep you around, man. So I don't know. I ain't never asked nobody about it. I ain't played with the guy, so I don't really know what it is.
All right, so we talked about Jadeveon Clowney. One of his former teammates, J.J. Watt, is going to help one of the guys who's at number 5 on your list here, Chandler Jones, coming in at number 5. He had the biceps injury last year, the last year of his contract as well, similar to Von Miller. What will J.J. Watt do for Chandler Jones? And overall, what did you see from Chandler Jones most recently in the last couple of years that had him at this spot?
Well, J.J. Watt definitely going to open up some things, help him with that run defense, and open up some one-on-ones for him, because you got to know where J.J. Watt is at all times. But Chandler Jones, man, he had that bicep, didn't play last year. But, man, the year before that had 19 8 forced fumbles. Like, that's like a 10-pick year for a DB, man. You get 8 forced fumbles, right? So he's just making plays, man. He's making plays. He got 17, then he got a 13, then he got a 19, you know what I'm saying, sacks in the season. And then you look at his career, he got 27 forced fumbles in his career, man. So you not only getting to the quarterback, you changing the game, you getting that ball, man. So definitely one of my favorite guys to watch, man. Long rangy guy, good moves, good rush period. So definitely one of the top guys.
Those fumbles, man, those really change the course of it, the landscape of the game. Change the game for sure. One guy that changed the game in his absence last year was Daniel Hunter for the Minnesota Vikings. Let me read a stat out to you real quick. Without Hunter on the field for any of the Minnesota Vikings 16 games in 2020, Minnesota's defense finished with 25 fewer sacks than the amount they accumulated in 2019. Did not play it last year, obviously, but it shows you the importance and why he's in at number 4.
Man, he putting together back-to-back seasons like he did. 15 sacks 2 years in a row. That's hard to do, man. You can ask anybody that. So when the production is there and it's year after year, and he just getting started. I mean, he ain't a seasoned vet like that yet. You know what I'm saying? He really just getting started. So I like what he got going, man. I like his rush style and production, baby. 15 2 years in a row. I'm gonna take that all day.
Yeah, I think Minnesota Vikings fans would love to get him back on the field. We always assumed Mike Zimmer's team would have a stout offense. We saw what Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson did for their offense last year. But that defense, it was surprising how bad they were last year. What else could you take away from what you saw from that unit in general?
Yeah, it was an off year from him, man. It was an off year. Zimmer said it. Their stars ain't play well. It's football, man. Some guys, you had the wrong guys, wrong combination of guys hurt at the same time, man. So it just made it all bad. It was one of the worst Mike Zimmer D's that you've seen in a long time. So they got a standard over there. They got a chip on their shoulder. So don't expect to see that again this year.
Coming in at number 3, and let's just put it out there, I assume he would be the number 1 defensive player for you, or at least the number 1 defensive lineman in the league. But when it comes specifically to pass rushing, you have him at number 3, Aaron Donald. What did you see from him as a pass rusher? We already know the totality of what a football player he is.
Man, he rushed the passer. He's effective rushing the passer like an edge guy, man. You know, the edge guy, they got the corner. They really got one guy to block them. They can get around the corner. Inside, you usually have 2 guys to block you on both sides. But he get pressure. He get to the quarterback. He gets sacks and forced fumbles like he an edge guy, man. So he affect the game right in your face, man. And I seen it live. It don't never stop in walkthroughs, in practice, in games. It never stopped, man. So he on go all the time, and he definitely top 3 pass rusher in the league from the inside.
We mentioned this guy's brother earlier in the show, J.J. Watt, but now he's kind of taken the crown for the Watt family when it comes to pass rushing. T.J. Watt coming in at number 2. He's had a rise here. Like he's really become a premier pass rusher. What did you like about what you saw from him on tape with Mike Tomlin and that defense in Pittsburgh?
Definitely. He definitely the young bull out of the Watts, man. It's in their blood, you know what I'm saying? And the young bulls, he gonna go. So I really like them forced fumbles, man. 15 in the last 3 years. He taking the ball away. He's up there in sacks for the last 2 years. Production, man. Production, the name of the game. If you get into that quarterback year after year, then that make you top 6 for sure.
And at number 1, he could have had an argument to be the Super Bowl MVP for in some people's eyes. Shaq Barrett coming back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I still can't believe they bring it back all 22. That's
man.
That's nuts. All right, Shaquille Barrett coming in at number 1. Tell me what's good.
Man, Shaq, I seen him as a little baby, man, just backing up Von and D-Ware, but even then we was like, Shaq, boy, hey, Shaq gonna be something. I'm telling you, we kind of always knew it. Just his quickness, his knack for the game that he had that we seen live, man. And now you see him 20 sacks 1 year. You come back last year, you only had 8 sacks. But you tore the postseason up. You led the postseason with like 4 or 5 sacks. Like you said, could have been the most valuable player. He was the most valuable player in the Green Bay game, man. So he came 8 sacks during the season. You have a postseason like that, 4 or 5 sacks going crazy. Man, he the best one doing it right now, man. If I'm starting a franchise, I need a pass rusher. He played a run too. I know we ain't talking about run, so I'm just talking about drafting him first. Because he rushed the passer like that, and he able to use that same skill set to play the run. Shaq Barrett, he first off the board, man. He the best in the league right now.
As a former teammate of Tom Brady and somebody who competed against him as well, so he makes this, he takes this rise in the postseason because he plays so well, and he comes back next year a part of an all-22 returning, and he got his contract as well. I almost feel, and you'll probably agree with this, Tom Brady is only going to elevate him to another level because, as you know, Tom is not somebody who settles with 1 ring or 1 standout postseason performance.
Right.
He wants to add more and more. And I could imagine you're somebody who's on the defensive side of the ball, play with Tom Brady, that fire for excellence, that fire to achieve and achieve again can only seep through Shaquille Barrett.
Oh, it's going to seep through the whole building, man. Tom going to, the day they go to work, Tom show up like we didn't win no chip last year, man. So that's just his mentality. And if that rub off on everybody, if the GOAT doing it, then, it's going to just trickle down through everybody. But Shaq, he one of them different kind of guys, man. He one of the most humble guys that I ever met in my life, man. He all about them kids and his wife at home. So I already know what type of guy he is. He not going to settle himself neither, man. He want to be known as one of the Von Millers. He trying to get back there so he can get a Super Bowl MVP. So he can leave his legacy, man. He's one of the most humble guys I ever played with. So you don't got to worry about him settling for sure.
Okay, so let's talk about some guys that you were thinking you were going to put in the list until you saw the paperwork. One of those being Khalil Mack, just universally known as one of the best pass rushers in the league, at least for the last 5 years. Can you tell us about why you didn't include him and maybe some other guys who came through your mind but did not make it there?
Just the production, man. You look at them sacks and it's say 7 or 8 or for this year and 11 last year. I'm like, oh man, I expect to see 15 and then 16. Maybe he wasn't number 1 up there with 20. I think the lead was like 14 last year. So if the lead was 14, when I think Khalil Mack, I think, okay, maybe he was at like 12 or something. Like, he was right there, but I don't know. Them numbers was just down, man. Same with the Bosas. I thought the Bosas was definitely going to be on my list, both of them. But injuries got them numbers down a little bit, man. So them big names, I was expecting to see them guys on there, but there's guys like Daniel Hunter who numbers was really going crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, it ain't easy. It ain't easy for sure. And
there's only 6 spots, baby. But another guy who rushed inside, who I was close to putting on the list, was big Chris Jones out of Kansas City, man. He rushed inside like Aaron Donald, and it's crazy production. If you getting close to 10 sacks every year from inside, you different, right? So he was one of my guys. He might be 7th right now, man. I'm telling you, he rushing the hell out the passer from inside. They move him around, but he going, man. He putting up numbers like a mug.
Okay, bet. And then lastly, before we get out of here, we'll return next week for our head coaches show, which should be a lot of fun. Name me a player, pass rusher rather yet, that you think has a chance to creep into this top 6. One of those guys that you didn't just mention before.
Right. I like Brian Burns, young bull out of Carolina. Man, he don't even got to figure it out yet, but he getting a bunch of pressures, and he 7.5 sacks his first year, 9 sacks that year, and a couple. You add a lockdown corner, a guy who made the quarterback hold the ball a little bit longer. That's gonna get his sack total up, man. So I'm excited to see what he do, see how he really turned that corner, see if he really turned that corner, because he off to a good start and he looked the part. He looked like he's gonna be one of them guys in the league when I watch it.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing what he's got and that team in general with Sam Darnold and Christian McCaffrey coming back on the field next year. That NFC South outside of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it seems like it's wide open for somebody to be a new threat to them. So we'll see how that plays out. And I'm very much looking forward to next week when we look at head coaches across the league. Has Aqib been approached about a head coaching job? Who should be hired? Who should be fired? All a bunch of talk when it comes to the top 6 head coaches and things are surrounding that coming up next week in our final edition of the Pick 6 series. That's Aqib Talib. I'm Harrison Sanford. Follow us on social media. Call to booth. You know what to do. We'll see you next time.